My name's Ronnie Armour. I'm on the board of trustees of Prison Fellowship. So we're looking after the governance of the organisation, and I've really enjoyed the past 2 years serving in that way. I'm from the Antrim area, and I'm an elder in a local church in the Antrim area, and I'm married with two grown-up sons, both of whom still live at home with us. I grew up in North Belfast during the 1970s, and I went to school in the area. Went to the Boys Model Secondary School on the Ballysillan Road, and really enjoyed growing up, albeit the times were very difficult, as the troubles were at their peak really in the 70s and early 80s. I belonged to Woodvale Presbyterian Church. I was involved in the Boys Brigade there in the Sunday school. And I suppose some of the leaders there would have been big influences in my life, particularly my minister at the time, a guy called the Reverend Jim Hagan, was a really important influence in shaping my personal journey of faith. Well, I left school at 17 and joined the civil service at that stage. And then in 1991, I got a promotion and they sent me at that stage to the prison service. And I was appointed to work in what was then known as the life sentence unit. And I suppose it was at that stage really that prisons got into my blood, and I really, really enjoyed working there. So I had 7 very happy years working in life sentence unit and then working in prison personnel. In 2010, just after the devolution of policing and justice, I was asked if I would go back to prisons as Director of HR and Organisational Development. And prisons were going through a very difficult time at that point. The ORS report had just been published, and morale wasn't terribly high within the service. And then my final time with the prison service was in 2017, when I went back on promotion as Director General, and I was there for 6.5 years. Some very difficult days during the COVID time, but I thoroughly enjoyed every day of it. And I suppose if prisons gets into your blood and you get a passion for it, it's just something that you really enjoy doing. It's a fascinating area to work in, and as I say, I benefited greatly from the opportunities that I had to work there. I think when you go to prisons for the first time, in whatever capacity you're going, I think you go with a lot of apprehension, and a wee bit of fear, if you're honest. And that certainly was my experience. The first day I walked into the prison, it was the Maze prison back in 1991, and I was very, very nervous about it. I think for people who are coming into custody for the first time, I think it is a frightening experience. I think it can be a very lonely experience, and that's why I think it is so important that not only staff but organisations like Prison Fellowship, individuals like the chaplains, reach out to those people at a very early stage and make that contact and give that reassurance, because very often that's a reassurance that staff struggle to give because maybe they're not trusted in those early days. So I think it's really important that they do that. The first time I encountered Prison Fellowship was back in the early 1980s, when James McElroy used to come to Woodvale Presbyterian and talk about the work of Prison Fellowship and the work that he was doing. And that was the first occasion that I had any knowledge or introduction to Prison Fellowship. And I suppose, like most people, you are fascinated to hear about prison life. You're fascinated to hear about people who are in prison and the journey they're on and the challenges they face. And you're fascinated to hear about the work of prison staff and what they have to do. And it's a difficult job they do on a daily basis. So that was my first encounter with it. I encountered Prison Fellowship again, I suppose, in the 1990s when I was working in prison. And obviously when I was Director General, I had a very close working relationship with Prison Fellowship. It was a joy to bring Robin along to the Prison Service Management Board for the first time to talk about the work of Prison Fellowship. And I think everyone around the table that day was hugely impressed when they were introduced to not just the scale of the work that the PF were doing, but the depth of the work. At the heart of what the prison service is about and what the prison service is doing is rehabilitation. And that's also at the heart of the Christian message, rehabilitation. So we see lots of people coming into prisons with very complex and very challenging problems, many of them with addiction issues, and many of them with mental health issues. And what the prison service does is provide stability for those people. Many of them have been living in the streets, many of them have come from very challenging backgrounds, but the prison service provides that stability and that opportunity to reach out and to work with people to try and address their offending behaviour and try and support and help them with their addictions. And the motto of the prison service is about supporting and challenging people to change. During my time as Director General, I was very grateful to Robin and the team from PF who got really in behind the vision of the prison service and who worked with us in trying to support and challenge individuals in our care to change. So in answer to your question, yes, I think there is hope. There is always hope. And I think the prison service and when people are in prison, there is a unique opportunity to reach out to those people and to try and help them at the point of their need. Well, I was very surprised at the end of November to get a letter from Cabinet Office asking me would I accept this award if I was offered it at the end of the year. So it was a real honour, I think, to be offered the award and to be given the award, not just for me, but for my family who've been so supportive of the work I've been doing over the years, and for the hundreds of colleagues that I've worked with across the justice system and across the education system, all of whom are working extremely hard day and daily. And to be honest, I wouldn't have got the CBE had it not have been for the efforts of so many of those people who supported me in the work that I was doing. So it was a lovely recognition, and it was a lovely recognition coming just a month before my retirement. So we had at the end of March a lovely day as a family at Windsor Castle, where I was given the award by the Prince of Wales, who chatted to me for a moment or two about my work in prisons and my work in education, and was really interested in the pressures and the challenges both in prisons and in education. So we had a lovely day. I'll always be very thankful for receiving the award. I count it a real honour and privilege, but I recognise that it was the work of so many other people who helped me to get that as I came up to retirement. I think the ministry is important to me because I have seen it firsthand, the effect of those who are not just working in our prisons, but those who are doing the aftercare work for prison fellowship as well, and that is so important. And I had the opportunity to see prison fellowship staff coming into the prisons, getting alongside people who were really in need, sometimes in a state of desperation. I was able to see that the practical support that they could give to those individuals, the encouragement that they could give to those individuals, and most importantly, the friendship that they could offer to those individuals. And the work that you do around Christmas Hope and so on during the month of December. How important it is to so many families to receive a parcel, to know that someone cares, that someone's interested when they have a loved one in prison. And I've seen just how important that is to the men and women who are in our care in the prison service, to know that somebody out there cares enough to reach out to their family. So I think the work that Prison Fellowship is doing is so important. It's an organisation that is highly respected for the professional and competent way that it goes about the work that it does. Prison service has been reliant on PF over the years for things like the Sycamore Tree course, which has made such a difference in so many the lives of so many men and women in our prisons. Well, Jesus says that He's come that we might have life and have it in all its fullness. And I think until you have trusted Jesus, until you have followed Him, you don't really know what that life in all its fullness really means. I absolutely believe that the gospel message changes lives. It changed mine, and I've seen it change many others. So it's really important that we get alongside people and we show them in a very practical way our love and our concern and our compassion for them, and that we support them in every way we can, and that we help through our example to point them to Jesus.